Only the second time we've been able to talk to you, since everything happened. What has been the process like to get back, and how do you feel, right now, health-wise?
The process is long. Sometimes you're working really hard, and you expect it to come the next week. And the progress comes suddenly. You'll wake up one morning like, I feel so good. You're able to do things you haven't been able to do before. So that's a weird process, but I think it's been low. And I think right now, I'm really strong. I feel super comfortable. Getting more back into it again. I'm taking more and more reps every day. Obviously, you gotta knock the rust off your technique, but that's kind of usually how it is in general going in the spring after doing winter workouts. So it's been cool though. It's been cool.
Well, when was that morning for you when you woke up and you felt great? And what was it, to finally have that type of morning?
Well, it felt good because it's just like I said, you put in so much work. I do a ton of treatment. Even before I got hurt, I did a ton of treatment. I always ate well, treated my body well, stretch, ice, everything before practice. So when you just wake up and feel refreshed after feeling so sore, in those first couple months of rehab and stuff like that, it felt good.
What exactly were you doing when you got hurt, John? And did you know right away that it was serious?
Yeah, so we were doing spring ball. I forget which practice it was, but I think I made a cut right over there. Cut, plant. Good cut, too. I tell everybody, if I'd have got out the cut, I was picking the ball up. But I went to go break, and as soon as I made the second step, I just felt my knee give out. So, you kind of just knew, and then I met with the trainers. The doctors told me what was going on after the MRI and stuff like that. So, you kind of know.
Do you feel like physically you're all the way back from it?
Physically, yeah, but as far as you still got to knock the rust off of playing football, reacting off somebody else. Like I said, the technique part at corner, but with the amount of reps and the extra work I'm doing, that's not going to take no time at all. So.
John, have you jumped right back into returning punts, and how's that going?
Yeah, I definitely did. It's going well. I was surprised because I had to work so hard the previous year when I was playing at catching punts, and it wasn't something that was natural for me. But when I came out here to start up spring ball and started catching it, I was it came back easy. So I was excited. I was surprised. I'm I'm doing all the techniques right without thinking about it. So, it was something I was really happy about.
How did the other guys look who were returning punts to you?
It looks good. We're deep. There's a lot of guys that can make plays. So it's real competitive, but I think we all enjoy that competitive environment.
Mentally, John, is there something that a lot of times when guys get hurt, they say, physically I felt great, but until I do X, I'm not going to be sure. Is there something like that for you, that until you do it, you won't know?
No, for me, if there's a situation like that, I put myself in that situation. It's like when you first started doing certain things in rehab, really coming back and doing your drills again. You're worried about how comfortable you're gonna feel, but I've always been the type of person where I put myself in uncomfortable situations so that if something ever arises like that in a game, whether it's a certain position or awkward position I'm not in, I make sure I keep doing it until it becomes comfortable to me. That's not something I've ever shied away from. So.
And how's DeAndre? I think he's waiting for you. How is he?
Yeah, we're about to get work after this. He's doing good. He looks great. He's real fluid. He's playing everywhere. He's in the slot. He's outside. His route's still crisp. And that's what we're about to work on out here today. So we're gonna get ready.
When you guys go back and forth like that, I know that's something you talked in the winter about, that he was kind of bugging you to get back out there. When were you guys able to get back out, working on releases and those kinds of things?
Pretty much once the season's over. Okay. I'm not going to ask him to come out there and do extra work with me when they're in season. Everybody's kind of tired. So for when the winter came and stuff like that, when we felt like we were rested from them first winter workouts, we got some work in and stuff like that on and off the field. So.
What do you see from Mac and KJ?
Mac's really good at the line. He's really good at the top of the route. He's still picking up the plays, and they also have him playing around multiple places, so that's not always the easiest to pick up, especially I think he's in the second year now. KJ's still adjusting, but KJ got the speed to make up. If KJ mess up a route, he got the speed to make up for it. So he's been looking real good, real explosive. He's making plays.
Were you able to learn anything being out for a year? I mean, you're a guy that's always taken a lot of time watching film and everything like that, but was there anything new you maybe learned?
I think one of the biggest things was this year I was in the headset, so you kind of know, the reasons that they're calling certain plays, how they're thinking about situations and stuff like that. So actually being able to hear, from the coaches in the headset, what they're thinking in the heat of the game, I thought was really cool. It's important.
you've been talking to us about your injury a little bit, and you've been smiling throughout it. Some guys would, still be a little bit bitter. Why are you smiling? Why can you get past that?
Because I'm coming back. I feel like better than I've ever been. I'm doing more exercises I've never done. Just the strengthening part and everything like that. I just feel like better overall as an athlete. I'm doing so much more I've never done. And I can still play football, and I feel like I'm gonna play at a way better level than I've ever played at before. So, I'm happy. So I'm excited.
What's your take on the coaches moving Lamont to safety since you guys are deep at,
I think it's been good. Lamont was happy to be back there too. He's the type of guy where he'll play wherever you put him at, and he'll enjoy it. I think he also now he can play straight full speed downhill, on backs and stuff like that. And then he can still make plays over the top and play in the middle of the field. So I think he's enjoying it.
What's the best play that DB's made so far in spring ball?
Best play. I don't know. There's a couple because you kind of got those moments where Coach Franklin will be like, all right, 4th down and 1, and you thinking, all right, run. But in the cornerback's mind, you thinking, all right, playing our offense, they gonna get cocky and try to do something against us. So if they run a comeback or fade on 4th and 1, they try to put the exclamation point on us. And you got guys like Donovan, Tariq, Monty, and all them guys out there. We all making plays, so that's just exciting, especially, when Coach Franklin sets the setting. Everybody's tired, middle of the practice. All right, 4th down, let's go, 1's out. So it's just competitive, it's just stuff like that makes it fun.
Anybody come up with a good pick?
Amani had a good pick. They ran the post corner route. He bailed off the post late and still jumped over the top to make the corner, so I thought that was cool. That was good.
You said before that you felt better than you've ever felt before. I'm just curious, can you give a tangible example or two? I don't know, maybe you're running at a faster 40 now, or you can lift more, or
pretty much when you're rehabbing, you do a lot of balance stuff, and I show good balance on the field, but before when we do drills and stuff for it specifically, I didn't always feel the most comfortable with it. Now I'm jumping up single legs on BOSU balls and stuff like that, balls that are moving. I'm able to do stuff I feel like I've never been able to do before and feel comfortable with it. So it kind of comes back to situations I wasn't comfortable in, getting more comfortable in them and stuff like that. So I think it's been interesting.
So what balance drill would they have you do that was kind of like a pain?
So it's almost you're on a ball that's not stable. You kind of naturally when you stand on it, you're automatically moving, but to be able to jump up, switch legs, catch the ball in the change room and stuff like that, pretty much catching the ball off balance and still being able to stick it. And feel good about it. It's just something you're not really used to.
So you're catching a ball while you're on a ball?
Yeah, so imagine a gel ball or something like that. So when you get on, you're gonna wobble, but to be able to stay firm, you're not on it, you're on flat ground. It's just, I don't know. I thought it was cool.
So freshman John Reid tried that exercise.
No, it wouldn't have been well. I don't think it would have gone well.
John, you came in with Garrett Taylor. He moved to safety, and James just said he's starting to separate himself a little bit. He's had a different path than you, and he's kind of really had to overcome some struggles. What have you seen from him, and do you have any thought on maybe his development?
I think that is, especially this spring, he's been making a lot of plays. He's one of the guys that's leading the team interceptions right now. He's getting off the hash really well. I even told him, I think yesterday, I remember when I was talking to my dad, I said, when he was coming as freshman, I said, I always thought you had a really good drive on the ball, and this spring he's really showing that. And then I was really happy to, everybody's seeing it now. And I think it's just because he's more comfortable. He's been playing there now for a couple years, so he feels good in the position he's in.
What's he been like behind the scenes, because obviously this hasn't kind of gone as planned for him. Highly touted guy, comes in here, was hurt when he got here. What's he been like when he was with you guys the last few years?
The one thing out of GT is he just always works hard. He always competes. Especially when we do workouts in the summer, when we go to the hills. Okay. He's a guy that me and him are always going at it. He's just somebody who kept working hard. He never doubted himself. He never dropped his head. He just kept looking for ways to improve, whether it's in film, his speed, his technique. He just always kept looking for ways to get better. He was never a guy who gave up at all just because, he got redshirt his freshman year. He took it as a part of growth. He ran with it.
John, traveling with the team last year, how much did that help you stay engaged, and how much is that going to help you this year, do you think?
I definitely think it helped me stay engaged. It was almost like I was still a part of the team. A lot of times when you're traveling, you joke around the hotel room with your teammates and stuff like that. watching film, and those were still the same things that I did. You know, only thing that I wasn't happy about was I wasn't playing, but it wasn't something I could control. So outside of the actual game, I still feel like a player. And even during the game, I still feel like a player because I'm still imagining myself, I would have drove on this, I'd have did that. So I never really checked out mentally. I always felt like I was involved.
John, they talk about guys who watch a lot of film and are smart players can see the things that develop before they happen. Do you have a guess how many seconds ahead of a play you can guess what's going to happen?
It depends who you're playing. So like if you're playing like a huddle team, you got to wait for them to come out and get set up, or you got to see the personnel. But if you're playing like a no huddle team, it's got to be quick. So as soon as they get back to the line, you got to see the formation, boom, boom, identify your keys, and then be ready to play. So it's almost like it starts to become instinct. After you watch the film for a while, you rep it 1,000 times in practice. When you see certain formations, it's just natural. You kind of have a feel for what's coming.
How much differently do you see the game now than you did maybe 5-6 years ago?
I've always been watching film. I'm not too sure. I feel like I've improved my game in certain ways, putting more importance and things like that. Like in high school, block destruction isn't always a key point of a corner because most of the time you can just run around. A lot of guys don't like blocking on the perimeter, but when I came to college, I really started focusing on that. I think it's just like the little things like that I focused on to help me improve.
Is there anything in your prep for the Fiesta Bowl you were able to pick up on? Because you had like 3 weeks to look at Washington and everything they do in past and any nuggets.
I don't remember too much from Washington because I've been so focused on, we've been breaking down already Appalachian State's film and stuff like that all the time. So I remember certain little tips just from what the receivers were doing, like their splits and things like that, but I can't remember too much like specifically as I would when he was playing. But
2 questions.